Hello, Marky Dragon, also known as Marcus Eikenberry in real life, and welcome to another episode in this entrepreneurial series. This episode is about knowing when to give up good ideas. And that may seem kind of strange. Why would you give up a good idea? Well, I want to tell you about some of my earlier experiences in my career as an entrepreneur. Myself, I'm an idea man. And I kid you not, I wake up at night and I think of these good ideas. I dream about them. I have this internal motor that just keeps me running. It's actually, I believe, my internal motor that just keeps me going is part of my ADD. And so I commonly wake up in the middle of the night and I'll have a great idea. But I just decided nowadays that, okay, so I have this great idea. Well, we're just going to let that go. But that's just because, really, I should be sleeping. But, we, like in the building of the Marky Dragon network, this YouTube partner network that we're doing right now, that we went through the no-brainer and we did brainstorming and everything, and we had a lot of really good ideas. But what we ended up doing was prioritizing them. And some of them, they were so far down on the list that we said, it's not going to happen. We're just not going to do that. Even though it's a good idea, and when you look at it, you say this could make money, because it can. This could, and that's part of business, and part of the evaluation is, can it be profitable? Well, one of my measures that I've come up with is, how profitable can it be? Or what is the impact of it, and what kind of component can it be within synergy of the bigger picture? So when I was younger, I used to try all of these ideas, and the only thing that kept me from trying them was my time limitation. And so I would write down all these different ideas, and I would think about them, and I would dream things up on them, and I would try a whole bunch of things. And my limitation was my ability to actually do any work on it, where the real limitation should be, does it make sense overall? Because, really, I could work myself, really hard. I already do work really hard. But, I could add more hours to the day of hard work and everything in exchange for, being able to try more things. But there's a point where it doesn't make sense. And so you either have to have really big teams and you have all these things going on out there, or you have to drop some of them. And so it's the same as being able to say no. These ideas that I have all the time, I think that through talking to other people who don't think the same way, that they have ideas as well, but maybe not on the same volumes or whatever. So how do I pick the good ones? Well, I know I have promoted the no-brainer tool many times, and maybe that's when I actually started to be able to say no to some things, because the no-brainer, which I'll link to in the description, it's a tool, it's a card deck actually, that you go through and you answer questions as you go through it, and you follow the process. And it starts with innovation, which is more idea stuff on the same idea. So you're kind of like brainstorming, what other things can I do within this vein of the same idea? You go to creativity, which is, okay, we've got all these things right here. How can we really explode it and make it something magical? Then we've got evaluation. And the evaluation portion kind of brings you back down to the ground and says, is this really feasible? Can this be done? And then we've got an action plan. And the action plan is something that I don't know. I've never resonated really well with the action plan in the fact of going through it to make something happen. Because I think I'm such an action-oriented person that that I look at this and I say it's just dumb that I even go through this because I already am able to execute. And I don't know if that's proper for the plan for how this works out, but maybe people who have trouble actually taking action would actually benefit from that portion. So, maybe that's good. I can tell you that my area that I have trouble with is the evaluation, because I think everything is great and everything is possible. I'm a total optimist, and I totally all the time am, like, okay, I know that this stuff can work. I know we can do it, and I'm right a lot of the time, but but I just don't think in negative terms. And evaluation is kind of a negative thing. They're like, what are the problems that could happen here? What is the risk and everything? And so I do this stuff, and maybe it's around when I learned how to do this that I started learning how to prioritize things and how much effort it was actually going to take. So when you do go through an evaluation on something like this, you do kind of realize that you've got, how many man hours of work to get it done, or what it's going to cost you in resources and stuff. What's the potential payouts and everything. And so that makes, I think that allows you to make really good decisions, and you don't have to just try everything. So anyway, I'll link to that in the description. I have some other videos on No Brainer that where we've gone through. We even did I did one with Matthew, who's my stepson, about doing. He wanted to try and be a professional YouTuber, and we laid out a full plan on how to do that. And we have the full series. And now he didn't follow the action plan, and so it didn't work out the way he anticipated. But that whole process that we went through, while it's pretty long, it's kind of dry. It's about 4 hours of video. Is when you go through this, you realize that at the end that there's a really great plan, and as long as you can do that plan, you should have some success. Now, the level of success can all depend, but you should have success. And he was going to shoot for a goal of making $10,000 a month off of YouTube, which is very possible, but there's some other factors in with all of that, and so I recommend checking that one out. So I'll link to two things here. I'll link to the playlist for the No Brainer session that we did with YouTube for becoming a professional YouTuber, and in the link below to the No Brainer tool, so that you can actually look at it and check it out. It's the best $100 I've ever spent, and if you're serious about evaluating things and making things work, and you want to know before you throw a whole bunch of money at it, that $100 will save you an enormous amount of money. So thanks for joining me for this episode. I'm Marky Dragon. Take care.